You mow the lawn on Saturday, it looks great, and by Monday there are these pale, grassy looking blades shooting up above everything else, taller and faster than the rest of your lawn, like weeds that grew overnight. That's nutsedge, and here's the maddening part. Almost everything the average homeowner does to fight it actually makes it spread faster and come back thicker. You pull it, it comes back doubled. You hit it with the weed killer in the garage, nothing happens. You mow it low, you help it win. Nutsedge is one of the most frustrating weeds there is, and people spend whole summers losing to it, dumping money on products that were never going to work. But the truth is, you can wipe it out for about $15 without harming your lawn, once you understand the one thing that makes nutsedge completely different from every other weed in your yard. So today I'm giving you the exact, cheap, step-by-step system to kill nutsedge for good. And just as importantly, to keep it from ever taking over again. Stick around, because the single biggest mistake people make is the very first thing they instinctively do, and it's the reason their nutsedge keeps multiplying. And tell me in the comments, is yours popping up in the lawn, the flower beds, or both? Let's start with the idea that unlocks the whole thing, because if you understand this, you'll instantly see why nothing you've tried has worked. Nutsedge is not a grass. It looks like grass, so everyone treats it like grass, but it's a sedge, and that difference is everything. Here's how you know for sure you're dealing with it, and it's a trick you can do in 2 seconds. Roll a single stem between your fingers. Grass stems are round and flat. A sedge stem is solid and triangular. It has 3 distinct edges. There's an old saying that gardeners use, sedges have edges, and once you feel that little 3-sided stem, you know exactly what you're fighting. Nutsedge also gives itself away by growing noticeably faster than your lawn, so it's always the stuff standing tall a day or 2 after you mow, and it tends to be a paler, more yellow-green or sometimes reddish-purple color, and stiff, upright blades that come to a sharp point. So why does it matter so much that it's a sedge and not a grass? Because the regular weed and feed and the standard broadleaf weed killers sitting in most garages are built to kill either grassy weeds or broadleaf weeds, and nutsedge is neither. It slips right through the cracks. Spraying the wrong product at it is like throwing pebbles at a tank, and that's exactly why so many people conclude nutsedge is impossible to kill. It's not impossible, you've just been using the wrong weapon. Now, the single most important thing I can tell you, and the number one mistake I promised, the thing you must stop doing immediately: do not pull it. I know, every instinct screams to just yank it out, and with almost any other weed that would help. With nutsedge, pulling is the worst thing you can possibly do, and to understand why, you have to see what's happening underground. Nutsedge doesn't just grow from the plant you can see. Below the surface, it grows a web of underground stems, and at the ends of those, it forms little hard tubers. They're called nutlets, and that's where the name nutsedge comes from. A single nutsedge plant can produce hundreds of these nutlets under the soil, and each one is a fully loaded package waiting to sprout a brand new plant. So when you grab the top and pull, the stem snaps off, but the nutlets stay behind in the soil, and pulling actually triggers them, breaking the plant's chemical signal that was keeping them dormant. So you pull one plant, and you've just sent the wake-up call to a dozen sleeping nutlets that were sitting there doing nothing. Within days, you've got more nutsedge than you started with. This is the exact reason people feel like they're going backwards. Every time they weed, they're planting. Hands off. We're going to kill it a smarter way, one that actually reaches those nutlets. But before we even get to the spray, we have to talk about why the nutsedge showed up in the first place, because if you don't fix this, you'll be killing it forever. Nutsedge is what's called an indicator weed, and what it's telling you is loud and clear. Your soil is staying too wet. Nutsedge absolutely thrives in soggy, poorly drained, waterlogged ground. It loves the constant moisture that most lawn grasses actually hate. So a heavy patch of nutsedge is very often a giant flashing sign that says one of a few things. You're overwatering, you've got poor drainage, or you've got a low spot where water pools and lingers. This is the root cause, and it's the step almost everyone skips on their way to the sprayer. So take an honest look. Are you watering your lawn every single day for a few minutes? That shallow, frequent watering keeps the surface constantly damp, exactly what nutsedge wants. And it's bad for your grass anyway. Switch to watering deeply but infrequently, soaking the soil a couple of times a week instead of a light sprinkle every day, and let that surface dry out between waterings. If you've got a chronic soggy low spot, that's where you fix the grade, improve the drainage, or aerate compacted soil so the water can actually move through instead of sitting on top. Dry out that ground, and you make your whole yard far less welcoming to nutsedge. So the stuff you kill is far less likely to ever come back. Quick heads up before we get to the product that actually kills it, and the timing that makes or breaks the whole thing. Because if you spray at the wrong moment, even the right product barely works, and I don't want you wasting a cent. So stick with me. Here's step 1 of actually killing it. Get the right weapon, a selective sedge killer. Remember, regular weed killers won't touch nutsedge, but there are specific herbicides designed to kill sedges while leaving your lawn grass unharmed. The gold standard, the one the pros reach for, has an active ingredient called halosulfuron. You'll find it sold as a product called Sedgehammer, and a small packet that costs around $15 mixes up into a couple of gallons of spray, which is plenty for a typical lawn's worth of nutsedge. Another excellent active ingredient is sulfentrazone, which shows up in several ready-to-use nutsedge killers and works a little faster. What makes these different from the junk in your garage is that they're selective. Sprayed correctly on a normal lawn, they kill the nutsedge without killing your turf grass. And here's the genius of how halosulfuron works, and why it beats pulling. It doesn't just burn the top. The plant absorbs it and moves it down through the plant and into that underground network. So it goes after the nutlets, the actual source, instead of just the leaves you can see. That's the whole game with nutsedge. Any method that only kills what's above ground is a temporary patch, because the nutlets just resprout. A systemic sedge killer is what finally reaches down and shuts the factory off. Now step 2, and this is the part that quietly decides whether you win or waste your money. Timing and technique. First, timing. You want to hit nutsedge when it's young and actively growing, in late spring and early summer, and, this is critical, before it gets big enough to produce a new crop of nutlets. Early in the season, the plant is small and it hasn't yet loaded the soil with next year's nutlets, so you kill it before it multiplies. Wait until late summer or fall, when the plants are mature and have already pumped out hundreds of fresh nutlets underground, and even a perfect spray just kills this year's visible plants, while all those new nutlets sit there, ready to erupt next spring. Early is everything. Now the technique. Mix the sedge killer according to the label, and add a surfactant. That's just a spray additive that helps the herbicide stick to and soak into those slick, waxy sedge leaves instead of beating up and rolling off. A lot of these products need that surfactant to work properly, so don't skip it. Spray it directly onto the nutsedge leaves and let it sit. Don't mow for a few days before or after, because you want as much leaf surface as possible for the plant to absorb the chemical and carry it down to the nutlets. It works slowly on purpose. Over 1 to 2 weeks the nutsedge yellows, weakens and dies from the roots up. And here's what to expect and not panic about. Because those nutlets are so stubborn, you'll very likely see a second flush of new sprouts a few weeks later. That's normal. It's the next batch of nutlets waking up, not a failure. Just hit that second flush with another application. 2, sometimes 3, well-timed sprays across a season is what fully drains the nutlet bank in the soil and finally clears the patch for good. Let me line up the mistakes that keep people trapped, because avoiding these is half the battle. The first, and the most destructive, is pulling or digging it. You already know now that this just triggers and scatters the nutlets and multiplies your problem. The second is reaching for regular weed and feed or a standard broadleaf spray and expecting results. It does essentially nothing to a sedge, so you burn money and time and conclude the weed is invincible. The third is mowing your lawn too short, which is a gift to nutsedge. It outcompetes low-cut grass easily. So keeping your lawn mowed at the taller end of its recommended height lets the grass shade the soil and choke out young sprouting sedge before it establishes. The fourth is spraying too late in the season, after the nutlets have already formed, and then being shocked when it roars back the next year. And the fifth is treating the weed while ignoring the swamp that grew it. Spraying every summer while still overwatering a soggy lawn, which is like mopping the floor with the faucet still running. So let's tie the whole thing into one clean plan, because it really is simple once you stop fighting it the wrong way. First, confirm it's nutsedge by that triangular 3-edged stem. Sedges have edges. Then stop pulling it immediately, because pulling wakes up the nutlets and multiplies it. Fix the root cause by watering deep and infrequent instead of light and daily, and draining or aerating any soggy low spots, so your yard stops being a nutsedge paradise. Then kill it the smart way, a selective sedge killer like Sedgehammer with a surfactant, sprayed on young plants in late spring and early summer before the nutlets form, with a follow-up spray on the second flush a few weeks later, and keep your lawn thick and mowed tall so the grass itself crowds out any survivors. Do that, and the weed that made you feel like you were losing all summer is gone, for about the cost of one packet of the right product without a single chemical that harms your lawn. Nutsedge was never unkillable. It just refused to die from everything except the one approach that actually reaches the nutlets. If this finally gave you a plan that works, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is Yardworthy, where we show you how to get the yard you want without wasting money. I'll see you in the next one. You mow the lawn on Saturday, it looks great, and by Monday there are these pale, grassy-looking blades shooting up above everything else, taller and faster than the rest of your lawn, like weeds that grew overnight.